Kha'Zix and Mundo by RIPSQUAD. And finally, Yone rounds out the draft. SS Friendship. Oh, yeah, I should have I should have seen this one coming, of course. There's the Shen, so Shen is going top, and Yone is going mid. And that is a Kai'Sa versus Yone matchup. And they've come this far. In my humble opinion, they are no longer the underdogs. This should be anyone's game. This best of 3, the first game is always
30 seconds until
so crucial. As we see Dundeeznuts grouping in one of the brushes.
You're already dead.
It's potentially expecting RIPSQUAD to face check, but that will not be the case. RIPSQUAD do not want to invade versus the enemy team, and I do think that's the right decision. You do not want to coin flip the early game when some of your champions are quite fragile, quite volatile. You want the early game to go somewhat smoothly so that you can really kick things into high gear later. I'm mostly thinking about the Kai'Sa here. Personally, I wouldn't put such a high priority on the pick, but Winter is proficient on the champion, and RIPSQUAD trust him on the pick, so sometimes in UNL that's the only thing that matters. Sometimes champion proficiency and just comfort play a higher role than draft and potential synergies that you may have. And there's the hook, level 1. Valstorm caught in all that CC. Very good trade for RIPSQUAD. They will get the health advantage even before level 2 really comes in. So this is very good news. This is exactly what Dundeeznuts wanted to avoid here. They will completely lose lane priority. Diego is pathing towards that side. But will Dundeeznuts even be able to assist once he gets there? Very calm in the top lane so far. Mundo can hold his own in the early game versus the Shen. Shouldn't be much of a problem here. Brandon Nami will be trying to fight back, but as I said before, every time Nautilus comes into that hook range, they have to be careful. Close trading as well in the mid lane between Winter and Weebly. But it's Kai'Sa that still has the potions. Weebly is already out of sustained options here. He doesn't have Fleet Footwork to top his health pool off. Obviously, he has Lethal Tempo, which is the much better rune. But it does mean that sustain is limited in the early portions of the game before he gets Vamp Scepter. As long as Winter can manage his wave, matchup should be going smoothly. But here comes Ares from a bot lane gank, finally trying to relieve some of that pressure. The exhaust comes in from Middle East. Dundeeznuts are trying to fight. Oh no, Ares diving in! That was perhaps not the right decision from Dundeeznuts jungler. He gets away, but that was definitely too much ambition there from Ares, trying to get that first blood. It does, however, give some breathing room for Dundeeznuts bot lane, so that is a plus. They will be able to push this lane into RIPSQUAD's turret. I don't think they're able to freeze this one effectively. Fanxy's around, but he's not going to catch a DZN bot lane napping. They are just backing, and they will just buy some items and get back to the lane safely. However, this doesn't change the fact that they're still significantly behind in terms of minions. And, you know, they have to wait some more before they really start coming online. Right now it's still Lucian Nautilus with the very, very dangerous early game. Now the mid lane matchup perhaps not going quite according to plan for Dundee, as Kai'Sa is quite safe in the mid lane and also not behind not behind in CS. If she can get towards that, at least that 2-item spike unopposed, then RIPSQUAD, all of a sudden, they have much better chances in this game. Obviously, there are also other threats on that team, but we know how good Kai'Sa gets with those evolutions and those item spikes. It is really a champion that benefits a lot from gold. We see Ares potentially targeting mid now, but Winter is cognizant of that fact that he will not get baited into any aggressive trade right now. He's more than happy to just sit back and relax for now. As Dundee, with the priority that Dundee has created in the bot lane, they will start this dragon, but it does look like RIPSQUAD don't want to just give this one away for free. There will be a fight coming in. Winter jumping in with that ultimate of his, but it's Dundeeznuts that could be winning this fight. Banksy is with the first blood though. Dundeeznuts with a quick reply. More kills will follow here as Weebly gets a double kill. RIPSQUAD committing a little bit too hard to this dragon contest, and they pay the price. It's 2 kills for Yone, who is actually behind in the laning phase. That does give him a lot of advantage here, but now SS Friendship in trouble, has to use the flash. Blast cones away. And it's just 1 kill for RIPSQUAD on the back of that fight. It is quite important that it goes to the Kha'Zix though. That's another champion that you want to get ahead early. Now we get a little bit of breathing space as the dragon has been taken by Dundeeznuts and a bit of downtime. But Dundeeznuts bot lane still has to be careful, as RIPSQUAD bot lane will soon be hitting the level 6 power spike. That is where Nautilus unlocks the additional CC and Lucian also unlocks even more damage. Now Winter in some trouble, forced into a trade versus Weebly. He is running that Vamp Scepter now, which means a lot more sustain and better trades as well. Winter still without that Manamune completion even. Has to be on the back foot for now, as Banksy is not the most... He's not playing the most active jungler, let's say. He's trying to mostly search for openings, not create them, but here comes the very good pick-off from Dundeeznuts. Lucian caught by all of that CC on the other side. Brandon Nami quite dangerous. If you get caught by one skill shot, you probably get caught by all of them. This is where you need to be very, very careful. The kill goes to Diego. Ares went ahead. Is the driving force of the team. The more confident he feels, the more confident Dundeeznuts gets as a whole. So this is definitely a good sign for the team. But as we look at this gold difference right now, it's still very much manageable for RIPSQUAD. Early game is not going completely awry for them. They still have tools to fight back. And that skirmish in near Dragon Pit has really turned things around for Weebly. Those 2 additional kills make the matchup that much more easy. But here comes the all-in from RIPSQUAD. Rand caught by the dredge line, but will not be killed. McCulling stopped by the stun. And the all-in attempt quickly denied by Dundeeznuts. Very well played. They don't even lose that much health in the exchange. Is Lucian Nautilus already starting to taper off, maybe? It is quite early into the game still, but... yeah, RIPSQUAD have not been able to really blow this lane wide open. Dundeeznuts stabilizing in the bot lane, which is very important for this team, as Brand will be the source of consistent damage, at least on the magic side. But now Winter does not have the flash to evade the all-in, but here comes the cavalry's arrived for Winter. They will get the kill on the other side. Ares tries to get some revenge, but he will probably die in the process. The Stand United does not come out in time, and this is a fight that RIPSQUAD will win. But here comes... oh my god, here comes the bot lane for Dundeeznuts, and it's 3 kills. 2 of them go to Max Crisp. 1 of them taken away by Valstorm. And a lot of chaos in the mid lane, but at the end of the day, once more Dundeeznuts come out on top. And look at the timing as well. The dragon has just spawned, and it's red team that will take it. Without much of an answer for blue team here. Lucian tries to see what's going on, but he's met with a tidal wave that he has to quickly evade before he gets burned to a crisp by the brand. Aggressive trading by SS Friendship, forcing out maximum dosage from Drug Online. Oh, that's fitting. Winter? Maybe not so satisfied by this turn of events in the mid lane, but regardless, he's doing quite well for himself still. Middle East now has to be careful. Evade the stun. Dundeeznuts will choose not to commit to the play. And they will be just fine with that, because they did get the first 2 Drakes. That is the important part. This will force RIPSQUAD to contest for the next Drakes, most likely, which is not quite beneficial when you think of the 2 compositions and how they relate to each other. I still believe that RIPSQUAD are on more of a timer, but regardless, RIPSQUAD are going on an all-in, and finally it's a successful one. But can Max Crisp get damage in return? No, he can't! Outlaw kites back amazingly with the culling, and it's 2 kills very quickly coming in for RIPSQUAD. This is the exact moment they were looking for. Also trying to make a play on the other side. Banksy will force SS Friendship out of the tower. Weebly trying to make things happen here, but he's going to meet Kha'Zix on the face check. And in an isolated 1v1, you can never win that fight. I don't think that is what Dundeeznuts wanted. That was a bit of an amateur mistake, honestly. If there's anything about Kha'Zix, any kind of trait that is instantly recognizable, is that in 1v1s in isolated spots, this is where the champion is really, really threatening, even when he's building Gore Trinker, which is, you know, the exact mythic that Banksy's running. Even with the bruiser build, he's got that base damage. He's still able to destroy you from 100 to 0 if you're a squishy. And just like that, RIPSQUAD are off to a 2,000 gold lead. A quick turnaround for this team. But they have to keep the ball rolling here. I don't feel like they can strictly rely on Kaisetsu for that late game insurance. I feel like they have to keep the snowball going constantly, but this is over aggressive by Outlaw. He's going to get caught out. He's going to give away the shutdown to Max Crisp. And that, once again, tips the scales in favor of Dundeeznuts a little bit. And now we see Dundeeznuts bot lane pushing and potentially taking that bot lane tower as well. Ronaldus is going to come in. He's going to stop this from happening. But for how much longer? I guess Dundeeznuts are not willing to keep the push going here. They will just pack their bags and go home for a while at least. They back just below 1 minute away from Drake. They will get their additional items and they will regroup in time for the objective. But obviously this is an objective that RIPSQUAD is also interested in. Ares is still doing the Krugs on the uppermost side of the map while Dragon is about to spawn. RIPSQUAD getting that initial positioning could be crucial for the fight at hand. And let's see what's about to happen. RIPSQUAD clearing out that vision. They have the numbers advantage. Shen still pushing on the other side. Stand United available. So it technically could still be a 5v5 at a moment's notice, but it's RIPSQUAD with a positioning advantage, and they just start off the Dragon. And Dundeeznuts are simply not able to answer this at all. No positioning advantage, but RIPSQUAD still choose to go for the fight, and they will just lose out on it completely as Weebly gets a sick combo on the other side of that fight. 2 wins already for Dundeeznuts. They want to keep going. Fancy will get away, but Winter will not be as lucky. And a fight that RIPSQUAD chose to take ends in tragedy. They get the Dragon, but that was not the kind of result they were hoping for, surely. Max Crisp now 4-1-6 on the brand. His signature pick. He is doing a lot of work.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
But so is Weebly. His setup on that fight was immaculate. Allowed Dundeeznuts to really turn the tables on that fight. And now Outlaw can be in trouble once again. Forced out. Weebly forces out the Gale Force. And that'll be the end of that. Obviously too early to even think about the Baron buff. Because Baron is going to spawn in about over a minute from now, so yeah. Too late for that, but I mean, too early. But regardless, this is a fight that Dundeeznuts have to feel happy about. Scaling is kicking in. Brand has 2 items already. Rylai's Crystal Scepter completed. That is going to be a high value purchase versus this team. And then Yone with Immortal Shield Bow. Heading towards that 100% crit as well. And now, what is RIPSQUAD thinking, I wonder? Because Kha'Zix is quite strong at this point in time, but Kai'Sa still has to get to the point where she can really start poking the enemy team with impunity. No Luden's Echo yet. Still has to wait for that power spike, still has to wait for the evolution to come in. So some time has to pass before RIPSQUAD really feels comfortable with any fight. Lucian's still waiting for that Essence Reaver. So the time is not quite right for RIPSQUAD when it comes to getting the fight they want. On the other side, it's Dundeeznuts who are now pressuring both lanes, top and mid, at the same time. Herald with spawned mid. It will crash into the turret, but it will not result in a mid lane turret takedown just yet. Winter has to answer the split push. I just enabled the Fog of War. Or rather, disabled it. There we go. That was not what I wanted to do. A bit of a slower paced mid-game push here by Dundeeznuts, trying to utilize both side lanes at once. It does mean, however, that their fight potential is quite limited, but perhaps that's not really what they were looking for. They want to get those lanes pushed in before the dragon spawns. They will get their backs in and they will prepare for the next objective. They gave away that Hextech Drake 5 minutes ago. Basically without a fight. But then RIPSQUAD gave them a fight as a gift. And I wonder how things will turn out this time. As Middle East almost finds Max Chris with a dredge line. That was awfully close. And the poke is starting to come in from Winter. Luden's Echo completed. That Kai'Sa is now an artillery cannon, firing straight at Dundeeznuts as they are all huddled inside of that choke. Wildstorm takes half of health, but it's Dundeeznuts who start the fight. Backline of Dundeeznuts now in danger. Can Dundeeznuts regroup in time? Looks like they can. It's one kill. It's one kill for Dundeeznuts. Is another as Ares gets another kill for the team. Weebly gets another. RIPSQUAD do get one in reply, but there's not enough damage between the two of them, I don't think. But still, look at Winter. Look at what Winter is doing on the back of his fight. He's still alive, fighting back against Dundeeznuts. Shen does not have energy. Wildstorm dodging the Void Seeker, and man, Winter saving the fight for RIPSQUAD. It looked very, very bad at that point. But the Kai'Sa is online. And now it's Dundeeznuts who are forced to respond to the dragon attempt. SS Friendship teleports instantly. Tries to interrupt. RIPSQUAD has to back off for now. But they're slowly regrouping. It looks like we're gonna get a round 2 at this Drake. We don't care about side lanes. We're just going to get another fight. Now it's Dundeeznuts who enter the Dragon Pit first. Middle East will just go for the engage. Dredge line onto Max Crisp. Tidal Wave in reply. But the Yone combo is incredible, and once again, it's the counter engage of Dundeeznuts winning out on the fight. Winter playing it slow, however, and he gets the first kill of the fight. And now it's going to be a 2 for 2. RIPSQUAD actually fighting back once more, but it's Dundeeznuts who get the dragon. How much can RIPSQUAD get done? Oh my goodness, Wildstorm almost dead. Blast Cone in! Winter gets another, And he's 4-2-5 on the Kaisa. 4 straight kills. Weebly now in trouble. Another Void Seeker lands. Winter is on fire. As RIPSQUAD feeling bolder and bolder by the second. I was criticizing the Kaisa a little bit, but Winter does know what he's doing. And just like last time, the start of the fight did not look good for for RIPSQUAD, that is, but what matters is that Winter stays alive, plays the fight slow, and then jumps in when the time is right and cleans up. This is what Kaisa likes to do. And with that said, the goal is still even. Somewhat even. It's a minimal lead for RIPSQUAD. Dundeeznuts keeping the game alive for now. It is an important power spike that Weebly just hit. The Infinity Edge is completed for the Yone, which really amps his damage up significantly. Now who can get advantages on the map next? Where will teams focus their vision? Shen and Mundo. Still not a lot happening between the two, obviously. But now with a Void Staff completed for Winter on the Kaisa, it does mean that any kind of siege situation is instantly that much better for RIPSQUAD as Weebly commits to the play, but it is expertly dodged by Outlaw with just that Gale Force. That is an important ultimate ability. As RIPSQUAD continue to push with the higher health bars. Now, what can Dundee realistically do about the push without the Yone ultimate available? That Fate Sealed onto the backline was quite crucial when it came to starting off those fights. Banksy and Drug Online trying to take Shen in the 2v1, but it's no longer a 2v1. It is just a full-on assault onto the Shen. RIPSQUAD back off, however, because they know that Dundeeznuts can still threaten the Baron. And they are going to start it, but then back off immediately as they see the rotation happening in real time. Dundeeznuts backing off. They don't want this fight. But now they will probably have to deal with RIPSQUAD starting the Baron themselves. They have to commit. They have to try to answer to this play. Will Ares try to steal the Baron? He blast cones in! Can he get the steal? Yes, he can! Dundeeznuts steal the Baron! Banksy trying to get a kill, but now he has to flash. And RIPSQUAD get away from the Baron pit with nothing. They will still chase. Kaisa coming in with the Void Assault! Can she get a kill? Yes, she can. Max Crisp finally falls to the play. But man, that is still I don't even have time to say anything because Winter is just sniping people left, right, and center. Nowhere is safe with this Kaisa build. Even the tanks are feeling the hurt on the other side. These quick 2 kills by Winter. They lost the Baron, but it does mean the soul is denied, so not the end of the world for RIPSQUAD in the grand scheme of things. They will actually deny the Baron power play from ever going off if they can retreat and regroup. It's a 1,000 gold lead still for RIPSQUAD. Even with the Baron taken away from them. Now, Dundeeznuts slowly funneling their numbers into bottom side of RIPSQUAD's jungle. They will take some camps as well. SS Friendship still a little bit idle. We'll probably just start moving towards that side lane to keep pushing again. Dundeeznuts sharing a little bit of farm right now. Max Rip's still committed to the mid lane play instead of just moving towards the side lane. Dundeeznuts really want to get at least one turret, but it doesn't look like RIPSQUAD are willing to let that happen. And it is just a Baron buff going out with a whimper, as Dundeeznuts are really not able to make any kind of play off of this. Weebly just walking the empowered minions into the turret, but it doesn't really change much. SS Friendship now is going to crash minions into the top side. Will this result in at least one tower going down? Not quite, because the Baron buff has already expired. And Dragonline is on the case. He's going to keep that turret alive. Oh wait, that is completely my bad. Shen didn't not have a Baron buff. Now it expires. Dundeeznuts will get the one tower, just as the Baron buff ended. But now Ares, way out of position, is not close to his team. Stand United is big. It will let him escape, but now fate sealed by the Yone, and Dundeeznuts a little bit split in this fight. Max Crisp is way too forward. Shen trying to do stuff on the backline, but it will. RIPSQUAD with their combined efforts will keep Winter alive, and it's a 3-for-3 right now, as the fight was completely split in two. Dundeeznuts managed to get some kills back, but now Weebly does not have the damage, or does he? He actually does. He gets the kill, but is instantly avenged by Winter. And it's 4-4 in that fight. It's so close. It's just the first game, but it really feels like both teams came to play, and both teams will not let up. They will fight tooth and nail to get that spot in the losers finals versus Psycho but Sweet. Banksy and Winter just so on point, so influential in this game. Obviously there's a support cast, but it really does feel like Winter has kept RIPSQUAD in the game when things got rough. And now, with 4 items on the board, Zhonya's Hourglass for even more either defensive or aggressive potential, depending on how you want to use it, really. Now Winter can really go off in style. It's up to Dundeeznuts to try and stop him. My problem with their comp is that there's not an obvious way to stop some of these carries from really just taking over the fight. Feels like it has to be a surprise attack from Dundeeznuts in order for things to get going. Banksy is just going to go right on to Weebly, but was it a good engage though? Dundeeznuts are fighting back. Outlaw's going to get caught by Ares. Finally a good start to the fight for Dundeeznuts. 1 kill coming in. Winter still poking right... Winter poking from another screen entirely. Dundeeznuts cannot really reach him, but it doesn't matter because they have the dragon positioning. And SS Friendship is just zoning out free, trying to stop the onslaught from RIPSQUAD. They will not reach it in time. Dundeeznuts gets Hextech Soul. very important, but look at Winter as he's still sniping champions off right across from the Dragon Pit wall. But it doesn't change the fact that Dundeeznuts win that fight, take the Drake, and also the Baron. Finally a major breakthrough for this team. They got the first Baron in a 50-50 scenario, but now it's definitely theirs. Oh, this could be dangerous. Oh, Ares and Weebly managed to get her recalls off. It was a little bit of a... Some beads of sweat were definitely dropping there as Weebly got hit by one of the Void Seekers. The damage is massive from Winter, but I feel like RIPSQUAD have to give him more time to shine. The fights are a little bit too chaotic for their own good. They really have to make sure that the poke damage hits and then it sticks, and then RIPSQUAD, once that happens, they can pick a fight on their own terms. Dundeeznuts feel right at home when they can counter-engage, when they can just stop someone like Nautilus or someone like Kha'Zix from jumping in. RIPSQUAD has to take it slow and try to methodically land those Void Seekers one by one before the fight really kicks off. Especially now with this Hextech Soul, it's even more important that you try to avoid any random encounters here. The fights have to be well orchestrated.
They can run, but they can't hide. Has been destroyed.
Dundeeznuts pushing two lanes at once. It's top and mid. But it is Brand now in trouble. Winter going in, but none of that damage will be necessary. Just goes down from the Void Seeker and the Culling, and this is exactly what I was talking about. They get the damage. Look at Weebly with the Fate Sealed onto 3. Ares still alive with a Stand United on top of him. Dundeeznuts recover from a fight that didn't look good at first. It's a 2-for-1 for the boys in blue here. And they will keep going. Weebly once again with another knock-up. Ares trying to get more for his team, but look at Winter and what he's able to do with his Void Seekers. It won't stop Weebly, however, as he's committed with that Soul Unbound, gets another double. The early game was not perfect, but now Weebly is scaled up. And it's just Winter trying to protect the base. He can't really do it alone. This will be the end of the game. And a 1-0 lead for Dundeeznuts. Try as you might, Kai'Sa alone is not enough. And Dundeeznuts take the lead in this series. Eager to prove still that they are not UNL's pushover anymore. At least not in playoffs. They are here to play, and RIPSQUAD have to find an answer. Top tier pick in the mid lane versus Vex. Oh wow, I actually expected this Wukong to go into the jungle, but from the looks of things, it is just going to be Volibear jungle instead, and Wukong going top versus the set. Ignite on both sides on the mid laners, TP on both sides from the top laners. Nothing out of the ordinary. Aftershock on both supports as well.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Both supports ready to be very active inside of this early game.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Now this time both teams employing a 5-man spread. Not looking for a lot. And we have to see where the junglers will take their attention to in this first clear.
Happy.
Looks like Fanxi will start from red, and so will Ares.
Ha.
And this creates a situation where both junglers will end up on opposite sides of the map most likely, unless Ares wants to invade the top side of the map with the created priority, but not sure if Wukong can really provide that versus the set. So it does feel like it will just be a standard 5 camp from Volibear, followed up by a bot lane visit. Outlaw and Middle East arriving quite early to the wave here. They probably lost some XP just from that leash. The Lee Sin will benefit, but RIPSQUAD really wanted to get this bot lane going immediately with a level 2 advantage, and it doesn't look like they will get it. They will just easily lose out on the push. And you have to be, I guess you have to be cognizant of the fact that Alistar is not really a champion level 1, so unless they get to lane really early, the fight for the push becomes quite hard. And on this occasion, they were not able to fight for it. Now, Dundeeznuts bot lane not really in a position to capitalize, but we'll see how what kind of consequences that entails. The Volibear, we'll see what he's going to try to do here, as the lane is slowly pushing into Dundee. Ares looking towards mid though, trying to surprise the Ahri before she hits level 6. Doesn't really find an angle, so instead just going to move towards the Scuttle Crab. Drug online, winning those early game trades as predicted. Set is definitely an early game powerhouse in the right matchup. Now Fanxi potentially finding an opening, but look at Ares and where he is, but the charm from Winter is so good, and that does mean Weebly has to disengage from the fight completely. It could have been scary, but at the end of the day, it just ends up in a trade of summoners. I would argue that benefits Winter more than it benefits Weebly. The Spirit Rush means that the all-in potential from Ahri is always there. Could be the follow-up gank here from Fanxi. Flashes in, knows that Weebly does not have a flash of his own. Will he get the kill? One more auto attack needed. Winter cannot get the kill, and it's first blood for Ares. Answers right back. RIPSQUAD tried a little bit too hard on that gank, and they get punished. And now a big trade in the top lane. Drug online, uses the Haymaker, flashed away by SS Friendship. Can he get a kill? Look at Fanxi, no, he's dying to the Raptors! Oh, he died to the Raptors. Fortunately, only an execution. No one on Dundeeznuts benefits from that kill, at least not directly, but that does mean Ares will take the remainders of that Raptor camp. Yikes. But the action doesn't stop here as Middle East flashes in for that. Ashe will stay alive. Not really an advantageous trade for RIPSQUAD at the end of it all, but it won't stop Outlaw from trying to go back in. Ashe now forced to use that flash defensively. Finally, window opens up for Dundeeznuts to take the first neutral objective of the game. It will be a Cloud Dragon going towards Dundeeznuts. The early game is quite fast, exactly how we expected it to go. And it's Dundeeznuts that strike the first blow, although RIPSQUAD actually tried to get that gank off, but were met with a swift counter gank by Ares. Now Winter will just push this wave in and then take his back. He hit level 6, but he doesn't really have an opening that's available. Plus, at this point in the game, you want to get your first back off, but look at the top lane and what is happening there. SS Friendship versus Drug Online. It looks good for Wukong. Can he get the kill? Yes, he can! Solo kill for SS Friendship in that matchup. Crucial for Dundeeznuts that this top lane is going the way of Red Team. Wukong, when he gets that Divine Sunder, he can really fight back here. Middle East roaming towards the mid lane. Weebly did not see that coming. And finally, Winter will get what he was clamoring for his entire time. Finally gets the kill with the help of his support. Alistar roams very, very deadly. And this is something that Weebly will have to be cognizant of every time Alistar is missing from bot lane. And there are so many angles where he can just get surprised by. Valstorm, he does not want to be face checking that portion of the map, has to flash away from the culling. Only level 4, just hits level 5 with that minion wave. RIPSQUAD, just like last game, they don't want to be letting the foot off the gas. Their scaling options are limited. Ideally, they would like the Ahri to pop off, but right now it's a little bit of a standstill in the mid lane. They try to get a kill onto Max Crisp. Once again, they commit quite hard to the play, but don't really find much. But here comes Fanxy. Going in with the Warthog, but it's an instant answer from Dundeeznuts. Fanxy was feeling himself on that play, but he is quickly, that play was answered by Dundeeznuts. Ares once again on the scene, just at the right time. SS Friendship now with big trade onto Drug Online. Goes back in, gets hit by the true damage. Does he feel brave enough to attempt the tower dive? Yes, he does, and he will get away with the decoy. SS Friendship, Goomba stomping the top lane matchup right now. Ares with the efficient and well-placed counter ganks. And this early game is going exactly according to plan. You wanted to keep the Lee Sin in check, you wanted to keep the mid lane sort of even at least. The Winter can still potentially find openings here. Ignite's about to come up. Spirit Rush going off of cooldown right now. Winter is looking. Flash Charm misses, so does Orb Deception. Does he have enough damage? No, he doesn't. He will not find the kill on this occasion. And Weebly survives yet another all-in attempt. Here comes Middle East, trying to surprise Weebly, but look at Ares and where he is. Middle East is way out of position, trying to roam, but instead, he will get ganked himself. Enchanted Crystal Arrow runs onto Ahri. Winter will get feared, but will not die from the play. And it's an early contest for this Drake by both teams. Look at Weebly in his flank positioning. He still has his ultimate and he goes in! Winter is executed. Weebly fights for that with his own life. Now, considering that Ari did not have her ultimate ready, I don't think this is a trade I don't think this is an advantageous trade for Dundeeznuts, all things considered. And RIPSQUAD recognizes that. They keep going in. Can Ares do anything about this? Ares kicked away. RIPSQUAD wants to keep going. Fanxi just barely gets away. Ares now has to flash. It's a very close fight. Ashe keeps auto-attacking, keeps slowing the targets. So many low members on the side of RIPSQUAD. They all get away. It's not the cleanest fight, but they do win it. What's more important, though, is what that means for the dragon attempt by either team. As RIPSQUAD will have to take their recalls, and Dundeeznuts will probably be on that objective before RIPSQUAD can get there. Tempo's on their side. Winter trying to create some kind of lasting advantage in the mid lane here, but he's going to get ambushed by support and jungler. Gets away safely. But now Dundeeznuts set their sights on the dragon. Don't think RIPSQUAD will try and contest for this. Fanxi less than half health, still looking for the Q. Will not get it. Once again, it's Dundeeznuts with the first 2 dragons of the game. Ares doing exactly what is in this job description as the early game jungler, getting early game advantages. As Winter once again looking for angles, but he's not finding them. Weebly going in for the play, but he won't find the solo kill. Instead, it's Winter. Oh wow, last tick. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Weebly does get that, but it's still a bit of a stalemate situation as both mid laners get some reward, but it does not change the landscape of the game. Still, it's a 3,000 goal lead for Dundeeznuts. And that advantage is mostly held in the top lane, however. It's not really the entire map, but mostly just the top lane and the incredible lead that SS Friendship possesses on the Wukong versus the Set. Now will he be able to do more with this lane lead for his team in mid-game teamfights? Middle East tried to engage, but he completely misses his chance, and now he gets slowed by the Ashe. Nowhere to run, he's way too slow to escape. And Max Crisp gets another kill, Kraken Slayer already completed. Even through the Unbreakable Will, the true damage will still get you. And now, RIPSQUAD has to be careful as the mid laner is actually following up this play. RIPSQUAD are aware of this, but nothing will come out of it in the end. It's Dundeeznuts still on the push. Rift Herald already spawned by SS Friendship. Drug Online under a lot of pressure here, trying to repel the push from SS Friendship on the Wukong. Now Fanxi, they will try to kill this Wukong 1v3, and will probably succeed in this attempt. And it doesn't look like Dundeeznuts are able to do anything on the other side of the map. Bot lane was recalling at the same time, so it was not a very well-timed push. SS Friendship definitely did not calculate this one correctly. But at least trying to surprise Weebly, this time from the top side. But that Alistar so far has only had one successful roam in this game, but look at what that means for Lucian in the bot lane as he gets completely denied all of that CS and XP, also killed in the process. Ares sniffing out the play and getting all of the benefits. The top lane as well as the bot lane right now are well in Dundeeznuts' favor. And what can RIPSQUAD do mid here? The Fear Lance. Can Weebly get at least one kill in response? No, he can't. It is a successful dive, but Dundeeznuts still pushing in the bot lane. I don't think this means we will see another turret being taken by the Dundeeznuts bot lane. I think that would take a little bit too much effort. But it has to be said that RIPSQUAD are investing quite a lot into these plays and not getting all that much from them. Early game still in Dundeeznuts' favor, but here comes a quick kill. Very nicely executed by Fanxy. Dragonline wants to keep this going, but SS Friendship is present inside of the fight. He's very scary, very powerful. Even with just the Divine Sunderer, this is not a Wukong that you want to mess with. Already rank 2 ultimate activated. As the fight for the dragon commences. Major ultimates online. It's RIPSQUAD who start the Baron. Maspris does not have the enchanted crystal arrows, so it does have to be the Wukong that starts this fight. Vex coming in with her Shadow Surge as well. Can Dundeeznuts get the dragon on top of this fight? They win the fight completely! It's a clean ace! It's a clean ace for Dundee. I repeat, they smash this fight! They leave no survivors, and they take the Ocean Drake as well. This is a blowout. And the early game composition from RIPSQUAD is falling short again. They will take the mid lane turret as a reward as well. Such a big gold swing now for Dundeeznuts. And Wukong now with a finished Black Cleaver. So much gold already spent. But okay, RIPSQUAD, they want to get even, but they quickly lose Lucian at the start of this fight. It doesn't look like they're going to win this one either. Can they get Ares? No, they can't. He's too tanky. Winter trying to go in, but he doesn't have Spirit Rush yet. Drug Online doesn't have enough damage with the Haymaker. And the Kite potential is so punishing from the Ashe and the Vex. This does feel like a stylistic mismatch here. Dundeeznuts, they have the answers for what RIPSQUAD is trying to do. Now Winter using Spirit Rush defensively, trying to get away, but I don't feel like he's too long for this world. He will get hunted down. Valstorm is in his general vicinity. The kill will not get donated to the Wukong. I guess Maokai wants some, you know, he wants a piece of the pie as well. We're trying to spread the gold evenly. And to be fair, there's a lot of gold to spread. 8,000 gold lead. Over 8,000 gold. Approaching 9,000 quickly for Dundeeznuts. At this point, during the first game, it was even. Right now, it is clear advantage for Dundeeznuts. And we all know what happened in the first game. It was a Dundeeznuts victory. With a much smaller gold discrepancy in the mid-game. And this time, they should be able to do even more with the resources. Banksy continues to try and find something, but look at the reply from Dundeeznuts, swift and deadly. Ares killing off Banksy yet again. Lucian on the back of the fight trying to do something, but there's just not enough damage in the tank. Middle East, kited and killed off on the back of this fight. Is Outlaw safe? No, he isn't!
Red team double kill.
At this point, it's just Dundeeznuts beating RIPSQUAD mercilessly with their wallets. SS Friendship doesn't even die to the turret, he's too tanky. 23-8 in kills. Dundeeznuts feel good about this one. They will just start the Baron. And this looks like the beginning of the end for RIPSQUAD. With this Baron, it could just be a very early push towards the victory and a 2-0 series win for Dundeeznuts. Potentially taking down another opponent on their path to finals. The miracle run is still ongoing. Dundeeznuts, the train is not stopping until they reach their desired destination. And they only seem to be ramping up as the playoffs series progress. SS Friendship starting this one off early. There's no follow-up from Dundeeznuts. And Chastity Crystal Lower lands. Here comes the Shadow Surge from the Vex. It has to be said that Dundeeznuts can really start these fights off hard and fast. Even if, you know, the Wukong is well ahead of his team. Well, Dundeeznuts once again a numbers disadvantage. I don't think they can contest for this, but they will anyway. And it's Max Crisp, 6, 0, and 9. Only 2 members of RIPSQUAD alive as this Ocean Drake is spawning. It's only Faxi on the Lee Sin who can try and make a difference. Try and steal this one and prolong the series. But the question remains, even... Oh! Wow, he steals it! Thanks! He denies the Ocean Soul. Now, this doesn't change the landscape of the game, but it does potentially keep them alive for now. As Ares tries to get revenge for that stolen Drake, he will fall first. RIPSQUAD, can they get more kills out of his fight? Middle East, he's slowed down. Hit in the back with 1,000 arrows. Winter trying to get something with that Spirit Rush, but there's not nearly enough damage. And look at SS Friendship splitting on the other side. The ship is leaking. There are too many holes. And not enough tools for RIPSQUAD to patch all of that up. They're trying to kill off SS Friendship, but they can't even succeed when it comes to that single pick. Dundeeznuts are just doing whatever the hell they please on the map. With this Baron buff, they just take any fight, and it ends up in their favor. But now, finally, they will decide to retreat. Never mind, SS Friendship going in, but without the Cyclone, how much can he get done? SS Friendship, he's knocked back into Lucian. That is exactly what Wukong wanted out of the play. That was not the right play for Middle East to make, and it is going to end this one, ladies and gentlemen. 25 minutes. A statement win from Dundeeznuts. And most importantly, a series win. Do you believe in the miracle run? Dundeeznuts are a top 3 team of UNL Season 6. Only 2 games left between them and the ultimate prize. They are